is that this time, not like 2017, which would seem to be easier for the BJP, there's a tough fight on every seat. Does that augur anything at all? Let's ask our, our panelists this morning. I'm joined by Manisha Prem, political analyst. She's joining me. So is Abhishek Sudhir. He is an advocate. I also have Rahul Shrivastav, who's right here with me, who's got this number of notes with him you'd want to steal because he's been traveling across UP. Joining us also is Sanjay Singh, political analyst, and Mr. Shrivastav, political analyst. Let's cut across right now. If all our panelists allow, to Rahul Shrivastav, because he's just come in, interviewed Rajnath Singh, and he's got these many notes with him, and taking off from the grain of what our reporters are telling us, Rahul, and you've also been pretty much reporting on this election. Every district that we have gone to, 59 seats are going into vote this morning. Every seat which was swept by the BJP in 2017, the report is it is a tough fight.
You see, I think it's not that in the entire state there is a tough fight kind of situation. I think in every constituency there is a tough fight. You see, first about this region where we are talking about 59 seats, the BJP won 86.6% last time. That's utopian.
51 of the 59.
Yes, 51 of the 59 is 86% of the seats is something that a party can always, dream about. And this is actually a blend of regions, Awadh, Rohilkhand as well as the Bundelkhand area. So 3 regions. The interesting element is that since 1996, it's not a matter of bellwether seats. This is a bellwether region. That if any party since 1996 has won in this region, it forms the government. So that's how critical this region, which is polling today, becomes. I think in this region, the BJP used to have an advantage. BJP, what it did in the last election, created a wonderful chemistry through polarization, Hindutva, the Modi factor and others. And after that, it created a very nice arithmetic with upper caste, the non-Yadav OBCs, the non-Jatav SCs. And that's really worked magic. With 60% of the catchment area, the BJP triumphed. But this time around, for the BJP, the problem is that, one, there is anti-incumbency. For example, when you talk about the cattle menace, it may sound like a small problem to somebody in Delhi, but let me tell you, there is an interesting aspect. It gets worse as the election moves from west to east.
Right.
Remember, west of India is a buffalo-dominated area, whereas east of Lucknow is a cow-dominated area. And since it is a cow-dominated area, the stray cattle menace becomes more serious as far as the farmers is concerned. And that is why Akhilesh, in a very clever twist to the election campaign, created what is being called in UP a Sand Relief Fund. There have been instances where people have been killed by stray bulls, and that's what he's targeting. If people are aggrieved, there should well be some kind of a carrot for them. This area also has interesting anti-incumbency elements, like you have Lakhimpur Kheri, like you had cases in Unnao. So all these things make BJP's caste arithmetic, incumbency, and threatens all that the BJP had used to do very well last time around. But if Akhilesh has to do very well, then he has to prove his mettle in this zone. Because the first two were a direct fight. In the second phase, it was the Yadav bastion. This is the zone in which the Akhilesh Yadav will have to prove his mettle.
So, well, if Samajwadi Party has to be in the game, then this is the phase that it has to give a tough fight to the BJP. We spoke to you about issues. Rahul Shrivastav detailed some of these issues. And, believe it or not, and as most of our reporters have been coming up, when you ask them what's the biggest overriding concern issue, especially in rural Uttar Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh is largely rural, one of the biggest issues is stray cattle, which Rahul elucidated upon. But let's tell you a little bit more about the caste combinations and on why possibly this arithmetic where caste is concerned has worked with the BJP earlier. Let's cut across, we don't have Ms. Priyam there, but let's cut across to Sandeep Shrivastav. Sandeep Shrivastav, 59 constituencies spread across 9 districts, 4th phase of polling. If you look at the caste arithmetic, in whose favor do you think it tilts towards? Sandeep Shastri, sorry.
Shastri or Sandeep Shrivastav? Okay.
Sandeep Shastri,
Thank you for having me in. Thank you for having me in. You are perfectly right that the caste calculus matters so much in this particular election. Let's remember one important point, that in the 2019 Lok Sabha election, the LOKNITI CSDA survey shows that if the BJP did extremely well in UP, it was because of the support of the non-Yadav OBC vote that the party managed to get, other than, of course, the vote of the upper caste. Now, it will be interesting to see this time around, how does this non-Yadav backward caste vote play out, especially given the fact that certain prominent leaders of that community have moved away from the BJP to other parties in recent times. Of course, that is, the moving of leaders is no indicator of how the community would move, but I think that would be something very interestingly seen in this round of elections. And to add to the points which Rahulji made and others made, I think for the BJP and the Samajwadi Party, this fourth round is extremely crucial, because last time around the BJP won 51 of the 69 seats, being the challenger and not being the incumbent.